I hope you've come prepared, because today we're going to be roughing it. We're going to be camping. It's not quite Lone Wolf Mountain. What are we going to call it? We still haven't got a name for this. It's more like Urban Fox Embankment. This is going to be more of a low budget kind of movie. As usual, we are going to be eating pretty well, and I have got a really cool tent to try out. It's got quite a unique feature, so we'll see how that goes. Take a load off and maybe think about getting the kettle on first. We're not in a rush today, we've got plenty of time. You want tea or coffee? I'm on the fancy tea again. Get myself an allotment, I've turned into a bit of a hippie. Starting to get quite green already. I can't wait to see it all in full bloom. Like a bag of sand, isn't it? Better for me though, apparently. So I ordered a low profile bivy tent from Onewind. Took about 9 days to come. What's it called? I think it's the Solovent. It cost me £104 shipped. Thought it would be ideal for coming down here. Although, I'm allowed to camp on here, I still don't want people seeing me if I can help it. I got it out of the bag just to check everything was there, but I've not pitched it at all, so excited to see what it looks like. So it doesn't come with any poles, and I haven't brought trekking poles with me, so I'm going to have to get a couple of bits of wood. Plenty of stuff laying about though. They don't look bad for a £100 tent. It's about perfect, that. It's alright, that. Simple. I'm hoping that this bit is the genius bit. According to the pictures it is anyway. So on most other tents that I've got, you can always pull the door out and peg them out, give yourself a little bit of an awning, but this one got like a built-in bit on it which closes that gap up, because if this was just the door and it rained, you'd get rain in there, wouldn't you? This stops that, allegedly anyway, but the proof will be in the pudding when I use it when we've got some rain. So you can zip the door totally shut if you want, as you've seen. Velcro those bits on. You can also peg it out as well, which I will do, and then this comes out here. which is going to need another stick, but it's not like I'm short of them, is it? I know, I should have my gloves on. I'm being careful. Can also unzip this one, I think. Raise that up. Have a look. Quite nice, that. I think I am going to put that one up as well, and then later on drop it down and zip it up when getting to bed, home for the night. I'm hoping I can sit up in it. I've got a little bit of a ground sheet under there. I'm going to pull that out just over here a little bit, so I'm not getting totally filthy just getting in and out of it. Got a bit of a cheap air pad as well. I've not brought anything that I'm too precious about, to be honest. It's alright having these rolled up, isn't it? But you want to flatten them out again. Or like. Pretty sure this wouldn't take my weight as a hammock. Dinner time, and I've remembered something to cook my meat in. Salt, pepper, even a bit of steak seasoning today. Right, so what we've got some woodland mushrooms. Although there's none about to pick in this woodland anyway, not at the minute, and I wouldn't know what I was doing anyway. And then we've got some more rump steak. Which one is it? 30-day matured. Some garlic butter I've nicked off Joe. Some more seasoning. I wanted to talk a little bit about food today. Me, like a lot of people, trying to eat a little bit healthier. As I mentioned, I've been doing a little bit of intermittent fasting on and off. You know, when the weekends come around, sometimes things get in the way. So I've noticed a lot on social media that it doesn't really matter how hard you try. Some people are always picking fault in what it is you eat and telling you how you should be eating. And I think that everybody's different and everyone needs to do what is best for them. So the steak, for example, I've had a couple of people mention that, you know, this is supermarket meat and I should go to my local butchers and I should go to my local greengrocers for my mushrooms and asparagus or whatever it would be. So we live in a suburb of Sheffield, and if you went to the bottom of our road maybe 60, 70 years ago, definitely, there were trams running down the middle of the road. All that's gone now. Either side of the road was brimming with butchers, bakers, greengrocers, candlestick makers, all of that kind of thing. And you know, Joe's granddad, he used to go to work and a grandma stayed at home and she'd pop down to the shops and do her shopping. Joe told me a story about a grandma used to go down with a trolley and take Joe with her, and she'd go to all of these different shops, the butchers for her meat, the greengrocers for her veg. There wasn't a Tesco's or an Aldi or a Morrison's. And then, whenever it was, probably my mum and dad's generation, that's when supermarkets and convenience food hit the shelves, and you know, you would, everybody, not everybody, a lot of people went to Morrison's or Tesco's or whatever it was back in the day and got their food because it was a little bit cheaper. They could get everything in one place and it was much more convenient. It was also around the time where, you know, mum and dad used to have to go to work. That's when it started that both parents went to work, and there was the latchkey kids, which I will be classed as one of them, where you come home from school and maybe warm up what your mum had done for you, or you grab a sandwich or a bag of crisps until your mum got home from work. And yeah, society kind of changed, and because everyone was going to the supermarkets, it sort of killed off the butchers and the greengrocers and things like that. So the high street down where we live now it's either a takeaway or a coffee shop. You know, there isn't a butcher's in our suburb anymore. There isn't a greengrocer's. There's a Asda Express or whatever it is at the bottom of the road. For us to go to a butcher, the nearest one is Hillsborough, so I'd have to go to Hillsborough for that. I can get my veg there as well if I wanted. Up the next village, there's no butchers, but there might be a greengrocer. It's just, and it's very expensive. Not everybody can afford to go to their greengrocers or buy organic food and stuff like that. All you can do is your best, and you know, I'm not going to be judging anybody for whatever they eat, and I'm not stupid. I know that if I eat ultra processed food and drink lots of beer and all that kind of stuff, it's not good for me. But I'm 50-year-old now. Let me make my own decisions. Let me know in the comments what you think. I know most people have to do their weekly shop in a supermarket, and 90% of what's in there is some kind of processed food. There will be things on the ingredients that you can't pronounce, and it makes it very, very difficult for people to eat healthier now. Even stuff that they say is one of your 5 a day or high protein or whatever it would be, these are still processed foods. The labels are ridiculous. Look at this one. Look, our beef is 40% lower emissions. What do they do? Do they like MOT the cow and, you know, check its arse for how much methane it's pumping out? I don't know. Anyway, let's get cooking. I'm hungry. Mushrooms first, methinks. Breeze is picking up. That's typical. No rain forecast. It's just started raining. Get a bit more of that butter on the go. Can you hear the birds? I do like a little bit of char on the mushrooms. Really good, that. I don't know where Joe gets it from. It's not the greengrocer at the bottom of the street, that's for sure. By the way, I don't eat like this every day. You know, just because I like to come out camping and fry a steak up doesn't mean like I have steak every night or fried food every night. I do eat meat with most meals though. That's always up for debate as well, isn't it? Some people say that meat's bad for you. However, you know, it's what we're designed to eat, I believe. Went back to caveman days, we were hunter-gatherers, but you weren't gathering all year round, were you? Right, I am going to call that done. Guess what I've done? I brought my seasoning with me. I've not put it on. Let's sprinkle a bit of salt and pepper on now. What an idiot. Oh dear, you couldn't write it, could you? Right, tuck into the mushrooms first. These are so much meatier than like butter mushrooms or close cut mushrooms. That garlic butter, salt and pepper's made all the difference. Let's have a look at this beef. It's the same one as last time. Very good. Let me know what you think. I'm going to put it out there that the mushrooms are as good as the meat. I think if I had to give up meat for whatever reason, not that I would, mushrooms would be my replacement for it. Found a use for those gas canisters that's only got a few grams left in them. I've used this before. Hardly uses any gas at all, so this should burn for ages. I think you can twist it around like that, and if I can do it with this lighter though, there we go. You can turn it round so it's protected from the wind. There we go. Not quite a campfire, but we'll sort that out in a second. You can warm your hands though. Put a couple of these with me. Just going to put them in a little wood burner. There's plenty of wood lying about, but I don't want to be roaming about in the dark. I'm not going to be cooking on the flame, so just a comforter really. I think a glove's required. It's dark. I don't know what's in that, but the saw does not like it. Bit dark for Lego, isn't it? Birds have gone to bed. Boy racers have come out to play. You can hear the cars. I could just sit and watch that dance all night. Kicking out a little bit of heat as well. I'm warming my hands from there. It's a couple of minutes under an hour. That's still going. I've used half. I'm just going to have a little bit of a tidy up. But it's getting cold, so I'm going to get inside the bivy tent. What is it they say? The city never sleeps? It's a really clear night. I can see every star, but this camera's not going to pick it up. I'm going to jump in there and just get wrapped up because it's gone cold. The bag should be alright there. If it gets cold or starts to rain, I'll drop that end of the tarp down. Like something from a Charles Dickens novel. It's not too bad for space in here. I can just about sit up if I need to. Well, I can sit up if I need to. But it's not that kind of shelter. Something low profile, isn't it? Out the way. That little section of tarp there, though. It's simple, but genius. You know, it would protect you from rain, so you can have everything covered up. It's like being under a tarp, but with the benefits of a tent as well. So, yeah, I like it. Don't know if it's waterproof though. Alright, I'm just going to chill out for a bit. Get me audiobook on and listen to the cars go by. If anything happens in the night, I'll bring you back. But camping in places like this for me is more unnerving than being up in the middle of nowhere. You know, you're more likely to encounter somebody walking past you in an urban environment than you are if you're up in the hills and the mountains. So, you know, there's houses literally a couple hundred yards that way, and down the bottom there you can hear the cars going by, so there's always potential for someone to sneak up on you. Although I don't think they will. I am tucked away. I'm going to turn my lights out pretty soon, other than me headlamp on really dim, so I think we'll be okay. Fingers crossed I don't get murdered. Ooh, that's a bit bright. It's a bit fresh. Not a bad alarm clock though, is it? Dawn chorus. And an owl hooting. Have 5 more minutes, I think. There's a little bit of condensation on the flight. It's not too bad though. I think having the footprint or ground sheet underneath helps. We had a few drops of rain in the night. Not a lot though. proper raining now. The one downside to these little shelters, I can't sit on my chair. Let's get out of the rain. I'm hoping this one folds up. Give me a bit of a seat. It's alright actually. You can sit under it. My head's touching the top. I suppose if I was right at the end, still touching the top. But I'm not sat directly on the ground. I've probably got that much air mattress. But that would stop any sort of sideways rain coming in. I probably need to drop that end. Although it's covering my bag now, which is alright. I haven't brought a raincoat either. This wasn't due till about 11 o'clock this morning when I looked yesterday. But the one thing that you can rely on is the weather forecast being unreliable. Forecast says it's going to be like this for the next 2 or 3 hours. Seem to have a little break in it at the minute, so I've just shoved my sleeping bag into the backpack. I'm going to quickly just roll the tent up with pad and roll mat in it. I need to dry it out when I get back home anyway. I was hoping to go for a little explore around the woods. I've not really had a good look yet. I don't think the rain's going to hold off long enough for that though, but I will show you that next time I come down here. So anyway, I'm going to call it quits for this one. I'm going to get this in the bag before it starts coming down quickly again. And yeah, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. I shall see you next time.